Welcome to Washington, D.C., a city of history, culture, and unforgettable experiences. From the towering monuments and hallowed halls of government to the vibrant neighborhoods and bustling streets, D.C. has something to offer every kind of traveler. Whether you're a history buff, a foodie, an art enthusiast, or just looking for a fun and exciting getaway, you're in for a treat. Over the next few days, we'll be your guides, taking you on a journey through the heart of America's capital. We'll explore iconic landmarks, uncover hidden gems, and give you an authentic taste of DC life. So buckle up, grab your walking shoes, and get ready to discover the magic of Washington, D.C. All right, let's get down to business. No trip to D.C. is complete without paying homage to the Lincoln Memorial. Standing tall on the National Mall, this iconic monument is more than just marble and granite. It's a powerful symbol of unity, strength, and the enduring spirit of America. Look into those eyes of Honest Abe, etched in stone. You can almost hear the echoes of his Gettysburg Address, a timeless testament to freedom and equality. Take a moment, soak it all in. This is where history comes alive, folks. Next up, we're diving into the world of art, history, and culture at the Smithsonian Museums. You could spend weeks here and still only scratch the surface. From dinosaur bones at the Natural History Museum to the awe-inspiring space shuttles at the Air and Space Museum, there's something to ignite the curiosity of every traveler. But don't just wander aimlessly. Pick a museum, any museum, and really dive deep. Get lost in the stories they tell, from ancient civilizations to modern masterpieces. That's where you'll find the real treasures. And of course, no trip to DC is complete without a visit to the U.S. Capitol building. This architectural marvel, with its soaring dome and intricate details, is a testament to American democracy. Wander the halls of Congress, imagine the debates and decisions that have shaped the nation within those very walls. It's a humbling experience, a reminder of the power and responsibility of government. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. DC isn't all about power lunches and stuffy steakhouses. Yeah, you got your fair share of those, but dig a little deeper and you'll find a city bursting with flavor. A melting pot of cuisines as diverse as the city itself. We're talking Ethiopian stews, simmering in rich Berbere spice, pungent Vietnamese pho that'll clear your sinuses, and Salvadoran pupusas, those thick handmade tortillas stuffed with savory fillings. Trust me, your taste buds will thank you. Now, I'm not gonna spoon-feed you a list of trendy hotspots. This ain't that kind of show, but I'll give you a few starting points, a nudge in the right direction. Head down to Adams Morgan for a late-night bite, the air thick with the smell of spices and the sound of music spilling out of dimly lit bars. Or venture into the heart of U Street Corridor, a historic neighborhood pulsing with jazz clubs and soul food joints. This is where you'll find the real deal, folks. No pretense, just damn good food served with a side of history. And if you're looking for a taste of the Chesapeake Bay, look no further than the wharf. This revitalized waterfront area is a seafood lover's paradise, with oyster bars, crab shacks, and upscale restaurants serving up the freshest catches of the day. But it's not just about the food, is it? It's about the experience. So pull up a seat at the bar, strike up a conversation with the locals, and savor every bite and every moment. That's what makes a meal, and a city, unforgettable. Listen, I get it. Accommodation can make or break a trip. Whether you're the kind of traveler who wants to sleep in a cloud of Egyptian cotton sheets, or you're more of a no-frills, crash-on-the-couch type, DC's got you covered. Let's start with the swanky stuff. If you're looking to drop some serious coin and live like a politician on vacation, check out the Hay Adams, a stone's throw from the White House. It's all marble fireplaces, afternoon tea, and enough old-world charm to make you feel like you're in a movie. Or maybe you're more of a modern minimalist, all about sleek lines and city views. The Mandarin Oriental, perched on the southwest waterfront, will scratch that itch. Floor-to-ceiling windows, a rooftop bar overlooking the Potomac, and a spa that'll make you forget about the stress of everyday life. But hey, I've been there too. Backpacking across Europe on a shoestring budget, sleeping in hostels where the only amenities were a shared bathroom and a prayer that the cockroaches wouldn't bite. DC's got options for us regular folks too. Check out the hostels clustered around DuPont Circle and Adams Morgan. You'll find a mix of backpackers, students, and budget-conscious travelers, all looking for a cheap bed and a good time. And if you're looking for something a little more private but still easy on the wallet, Airbnb is your friend. From cozy studios to entire apartments, you'll find plenty of options scattered throughout the city. Just remember, location is key. You want to be close to the action, but not so close that you're kept up all night by the sounds of sirens and drunken revelry. Trust me on that one. Look, I love the energy of a big city as much as the next guy, but sometimes you just need a break from the hustle and bustle. Luckily, DC's got more green spaces than a politician's promises. First up, Rock Creek Park. This sprawling urban oasis is like stepping into another world, a verdant escape from the concrete jungle. Hike or bike along miles of trails, paddle a kayak down the creek, or just spread out a blanket and soak up the sun. And if you're feeling really adventurous, rent a horse and explore the park on horseback. Just try not to get lost, or you might end up on the evening news. Speaking of water, the Potomac River isn't just a pretty backdrop, it's a playground for outdoor enthusiasts. Rent a kayak or canoe and paddle along the shoreline, taking in the views of the city from a different perspective. Or hop on a water taxi and cruise down the river, enjoying the fresh air and the sights. And if you're feeling really ambitious, rent a paddleboard and try your hand at stand-up paddleboarding. Just be prepared for a few wobbly moments and maybe a dip in the water. But sometimes the best way to experience a city is on foot, so lace up your walking shoes and hit the streets. Stroll along the National Mall, taking in the iconic monuments and memorials. Explore the charming neighborhoods of Georgetown and DuPont Circle with their cobblestone streets and historic architecture. Or wander through the National Arboretum, a 446-acre living museum of trees and plants from around the world. The point is, get out there and explore. You never know what hidden gems you might uncover. Look, I'm not trying to scare you, but let's get real for a minute. Every city has its shadows, its underbelly, and DC is no exception. But don't let that stop you from enjoying all this town has to offer. A little common sense goes a long way. First things first, be aware of your surroundings. That means ditching the headphones while you're walking around, especially at night. You want to be able to hear what's going on around you, not blasting Beyoncé so loud you miss the sound of approaching footsteps. And speaking of walking at night, try to stick to well-lit and populated areas. I know those dark alleys might seem like a shortcut, but trust me, they're not worth the risk. Now, I'm not saying you need to walk around clutching your valuables like a lifeline, but just be smart. Don't flash your cash around like you're making it rain, and keep your phone tucked away when you're not using it. And speaking of phones, do yourself a favor and download a map of the city before you venture out. Getting lost with a dead phone battery is a recipe for disaster, my friends. Look, I'm not trying to make you paranoid, but it's always better to be safe than sorry. Use your common sense, trust your gut, and don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it. So you've decided to take the plunge and experience DC good for you. Now let's talk timing. Because when it comes to visiting the nation's capital, timing is everything. Spring and fall are the sweet spots, my friends. The weather is glorious, not too hot, not too cold, and the city is awash in colorful blooms or vibrant foliage depending on the season. Plus, you'll avoid the summer crowds and the stifling humidity. But let's be real, summer is peak tourist season for a reason. The city is buzzing with energy, the museums are open late, and there are festivals and events happening every weekend. Just be prepared for long lines, packed restaurants, and the occasional heat wave that'll make you want to melt into a puddle on the sidewalk. Winter can be hit or miss. You might luck out with a mild winter wonderland, perfect for ice skating on the National Mall and cozying up in a pub with a pint of something warm and comforting. Or you could get slammed with a blizzard that shuts down the entire city. It's a gamble, but hey, that's part of the adventure, right? Now let's talk transportation. DC has a pretty decent public transportation system, with the metro being your best bet for getting around the city. It's clean, efficient, and will get you where you need to go without the hassle of traffic. Just avoid rush hour if you can, unless you enjoy being crammed into a metal tube with hundreds of your closest strangers. If you're feeling adventurous, rent a bike and explore the city on two wheels. DC is surprisingly bike-friendly, with dedicated bike lanes and trails throughout the city. Just watch out for those crazy drivers, they're not always paying attention. And if all else fails, there's always Uber and Lyft. Just be prepared for surge pricing during peak hours. Trust me, it's not pretty. So there you have it, folks. A whirlwind tour through the heart of America's capital. We've explored iconic landmarks, uncovered hidden gems, and hopefully given you a taste of what makes DC such a special place. But this is just the beginning. DC is a city that rewards exploration, so get out there and discover it for yourself. Try the food, soak up the history, and don't be afraid to get lost in the magic of it all. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more travel guides. Safe travels!